Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Sounds like you had a great experience out there. I definitely feel the change of energy in here. It's amazing. We would like if you could fill out the postcards which are on the tables, so we get some kind of a feedback for this event. And whenever you finish tonight, you can just hang them on the board up there. Is there anyone here who would like to share their experience for tonight? I know there are some who had a little sightseeing detour before they reached their destination. But I think you all had time enough to have your dinner, and everyone seemed really happy when you returned. Anyone? Yes.
Yes, we had visitors at our home, and we enjoyed it very much, and we got to know them all. It feels like I already have a dinner date with a couple. So that feels very good. And it's very nice to have this surprise that you don't know who's coming. And we already had our exercise dinner last week. And so that's very nice to do this. I would like to do it again, I must say. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes. Yeah.
Så næste er, Boet fortsætter. Det var en dejlig oplevelse at være gæst på Verden. Jeg har fortalt, det var en rigtig dejlig oplevelse at være gæst. Og også den del med, at det var spændende, fordi man ikke vidste, hvem man skulle være sammen med. Man vidste ikke, hvem man skulle hjem til, og hvordan det var. Og så tror jeg, at alle dem, vi har snakket med, så har det været nemt. Altså fordi man er så spændt på, man er et sted med alle de folk, man ikke kender, og et sted, hvor man ikke ved. Men faktisk alle de elementer gjorde, at det var rigtig nemt på en eller anden måde. Og tusind tak til alle, der var værter. Vi var i hvert fald meget mætte, da vi gik derfra igen. Prøv ind.
Andre, der vil fortælle lidt? Anyone else? No. Well, then I will give the word to Christian Vinegar here, who will tell you a bit about this pitch show that's going to be happening right now.
Thank you. It seems like everybody's enjoying their time, so I'll try not to ruin that by long talks. My name is Christian Vinegar. I'm the Deputy Manager of Greenland Business, which is a government-owned business development company, and we support innovation and entrepreneurship. Also, I'm a board manager of the Foundation for Entrepreneurship in Greenland, Fonden for Entreprenørskab Glædeligt Nunat. And just briefly about that, the Foundation for Entrepreneurship in Greenland started only a couple of years ago, where we set up a local office in Greenland. It's a spin-off of the Danish Foundation for Entrepreneurship, which some of you may know to cooperate with the Junior Achievement and Young Entrepreneurship, which are international organizations. So what is special about the Foundation for Entrepreneurship is that they focus not on specific areas of education, but take entrepreneurship into the whole of education. The word goes from ABC to PhD. So that's a little bit special. And what we do is that we would like to make study materials about entrepreneurship and study materials about all kinds of subjects using entrepreneurial methods. So it's not so much about having a subject in your weekly scheme about innovation or entrepreneurship. It's more about bringing those traits that you need to have as an entrepreneur into education as such. And by doing so, science shows that it makes education more fun. You have to be creative. You get involved with solving social problems. Some even get inspired to set up their own business when they grow a little, or when they are still young. So we do these workshops and competitions and involve teachers. Luckily we have a good region leader, Georgine, and she asked me if I would say these few words and then introduce our three stars of tonight. Three young people who, let me say that it's, efterårsferie, fall vacation at this moment. So they took their free time out to go to school and spent 2 days with me and Georgine working on ideas from scratch. And they're here to tell you about these things. So this is what we call a startup pitch competition, except instead of a competition, everybody's a winner tonight. Because doing this really shows you have something special in you. The rules are, they will each have 3 minutes to give their pitch, and then I'll go, and they stop. We have a panel of judges, or panel of specialists, let's say. They will have 5 minutes to give questions to the let's say, entrepreneur, and then we rotate for the next. So we'll start now, and we're ready. And the first to speak, the first pitch will be Malik Lund.
God aften. Min idé, min pitch, det handler om, prøv at forestille jer at I lige er kommet op til Grønland, og undskyld, jeg er så nervøs. Det går godt. Men I er lige kommet til Grønland, og I er nylige turister, som gerne vil opleve den grønlandske natur med egen krop. For I er i hvert fald lige nysgerrige over, i hvert fald, hvorfor Trump han var lige så ivrig for at købe land. Eller I kan forestille jer, at I er indbyggere her i landet her, som desværre ikke har jeres egen båd, og I vil gerne lige prøve at opleve den smukke natur, som vi altid har adgang til lige her til på byen. Så I starter med at lege en charterbåd under min idé, og så på en halv dags tur vil I få lov til at få informationer om udbredelsen af grønlandsis og dens tykkelse og dens renlighed, som egentlig også gør den så speciel. Til slut i den der tur, så vil jeg også være i stand til at så vil jeg også få det tilbud om at få lov til at smage isen. Nu det er også den reneste is i verden. Ved at udnytte de isbjerge, som egentlig også tit flyver rundt her i hele Nuuk Fjord. I vil få det tilbud at enten indfange den is selv ved at komme ned i joller og prøve at fange det med net, eller overlade det til professionelle. Det vil også give den følelse af, at I får selv lov til at fange den is selv og vælge den kvalitet, I vil have. Med andre ord, I kan selv vælge, hvor god det vil have. Jeg har også oplevet, at folk kan være ret skeptiske over den kvalitet, produktet får. Men når man selv vælger den is, man gerne vil have, så er man sikker på, at man får den bedste kvalitet på. Så for at summere mit produkt er en oplevelse, som giver folk lov til at, eller give folk adgang til at smage på den is, den reneste is, som Grønland har råd til, og det udnytter så også alt det is, som ender med at komme ned i havet.
Thank you. 3 minutes isn't a long time. Please stay a while. We have some questions from our panel of distinguished experts. How do I stop this? Where are they?
I'll start. Thank you very much. I understand it's really difficult to be up there and pitch for the first time. What I've learned when working with entrepreneurs, always be ready for a lot of no's, because always the last yes will help you forward. But as a guest, I'm wondering, could it be like difficult or is it unsafe for like tourists to get the ice? Is it something that I should be worried about if I would like to go with you on a trip?
I don't believe that it's unsafe, since I use a small boat and a net, so we can envelop the ice with a net and drag it to shore or to somewhere close you feel safe, and just pick at it as much as you like, instead of just swimming next to it and hacking away.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not my idea. You just drag the ice to shore, where you can just pick at it as much as you like, and just make sure that you don't have any of the fallen ice on your boat while at sea.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Yes.
Have you thought about where do you want to make marketing for this?
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, have you thought about how do I get the customers? Do I put up a sign in the middle of the city, or what do you do to find the customers?
My primary idea was using tourists while collaborating with tourist companies. So that would be my main source of income in the summer months. But in the winter months, there's also a lot of tourists who also want to experience the cold Greenland instead of what, in my opinion, the more beautiful Greenland. But my main source of income, I believe, would be from tourists and during the summer months. The rest of the year, I would rely on maybe the indigenous population and curious tourists in the winter time.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I have a question. How are you bringing food into your idea?
My idea was you could hack, maybe blend the ice you get from the icebergs, so and maybe mix it up with juices from special indigenous berries like the blueberry and the blackberry, so you can have a smoothie or you can have sauce ice, and you can even melt down the ice and make a juice, and combine with the iceberg and the indigenous plants and the berries will make I believe I would make a cultural experience.
Maybe last 1 or 2 questions.
Undskyld. Du er mega sej. Jeg har et spørgsmål i forhold til, når de så har fået den her is, hvad er det så, de skal med det? Og i så fald,
Hvis de skulle have det med hjem, har du tænkt på, hvordan de skulle have det med hjem, hvis det var?
Hvis de skal have det med hjem, så er de selvfølgelig lov til at udnytte flasker. Altså hvis de selv har nogle drikkedunke med, eller hvis de selvfølgelig også har nogle kølebokser, som de selv gerne vil tage med. Altså, men sådan noget der, de skal kunden selv sørge for. Men mit produkt er nærmere oplevelsen og muligheden til at opleve de ting. Hvad de gør yderligere, det skal nogen selv sørge for, men jeg tænker også på at udlevere nogle flasker, så jeg selv vil kunne opsamle den isvand.
Last question. Or give a warm hand for Monique. And let's welcome Jakusak Knudsen. Sørensen.
Yeah, hello. My product is a form of alcohol, which there is a market for, of course. Though it is quite different from the normal kind of alcohol that is sold at the market. The original name would be called Danger Beer. Yeah, it's a bit scary name, but I changed the name to be green beer or Greenlandic liquor. For it's more, not really a beer, but more like a wine or a liquor. The product is made in the olden way, where back in the day when the colonies where Greenland was under complete rule of Denmark, and Denmark put a alcohol stop on Greenland itself. The Greenlandic people still wanted alcohol, so instead they just took whatever they had, like berries or the indigenous plants, put them into a boiler along with some yeast and sugar, along with water, to make a really strong alcohol, which they distilled to get even stronger. It's made of blackberries or quain. Don't really remember the English name for it, but yeah, Angelica. They used that, and they got a really strong alcohol. And from what I've heard from some of my interviews, they tried to make a blackberry wine, but instead they made more of a blackberry beer, which could give a person blackout if they were not if they had no experience with alcohol before. Yeah, it was really strong, but instead of making something that strong, I would mix it up with more berry juice to make it more drinkable and less dangerous. Yeah. It's inspired from the old way they did it in even back in the 70s. There were some distillers along in Greenland, though it's not known that much, but that was my inspiration. And I knew there would be a good market for it, for you don't really own... If I sold it at the airports to the tourists, they would not just buy a liquor, they would buy history from Greenland. Because I would make it the way they did it back in the day, with a normal pot, my ingredients, yeast, sugar and water, and of course some berries or Angelica, and put it on a bottle and trying to sell it. It is told that it is strong beer or strong liquor, so it would be mixed up with water or berry juice. So that's my idea. I was also told by my family that...
Thank you.
All right.
3 minutes isn't a long time. If anyone from the panel first would like to have a question, or anyone.
Where can we buy it?
It's not on the sale yet. It's just an idea.
I am Meta. I was just wondering, would the guests, the visitors, tourists, or whomever, would they be part of the experience, or is it only the bottled drink you're selling? Would you take them out to collect berries or be part of the process? Is that part of the idea?
It wasn't originally, but it is a good idea. I could put it in. Any other questions?
No ideas. But it's okay. What about the water you will use? Will it be an idea with the ice, with the...
Yeah, about that, I would probably use the river waters or glacial water, since I already know where they are, and I do come from the other side of the ice. I come from East Greenland. We have a lot of places with water. It is also very tasty, better tasting than tap water.
You said that the storytelling was an important part of the product. Have you thought about how to tell the stories? Because the label of a bottle is very restricted when it comes to space.
Yeah, but in that part, I would tell the story by the product. I would have an open factory with a factory, more of a place where I make the alcohol, but an open factory, and also would probably also make a deal with the hotels in the area and have them and offer a tour about the history of Greenland. Any other questions?
I would love to break the rules and give you an idea. If you make the really strong liquor, serve that, but make it a very small bottle so nobody will be blacked out. And then serve some berries and start the process, and then they can drink it as a liquor if they want, as not so strong, but give them the real dangers. Go back to the dangers title.
Danger beer.
Anyone else? Have you thought some more about your target group for this product?
Originally, my target group would be my fellow students at the gymnasium. I switched it over to tourists since they are more likely to buy the product.
They have more money as well.
Yeah, probably.
Anyone else with a question? Or give a warm hand to Yakuza. Last pitch is Tigerak Knudsen.
My idea is quite a big idea, but I think it's a good one, and I have multiple scenarios, and I'll give you one, maybe two. I imagine making a website with what you call experiences that you can choose for yourself. So you can choose if you want to go with your family on a fun trip or just a romantic trip with your spouse. And one scenario, for example, would be a couple coming with a plane and then going to their hotel, and they get a brochure, or it's on an app or the website where they can look at what time they are going. And I imagine they have maybe ordered an experience out in the islands where I can, for example, make a house, a small restaurant called Point Aurora or Point Borealis. Then the couple, they go with a boat out to the islands to a small custom-made harbor where they can choose to go with a kayak or a what do you call it, traditional wife boat, I think it's called, with shuttle lights and someone controlling the boat. They're having their own little romantic trip, and they get to the house, and there's a cook waiting for them and welcoming them, and preparing the food that they have ordered. Maybe some caribou caught in the August season, and they come here in October, and they want to experience the Northern Lights while they are eating their own sweet little romantic dinner. And they can choose to be inside the restaurant or outside, where it's all custom made for their special needs, and they just have a really good time under the Northern Lights. And there could be a camera at service, where they could get a very special picture with their very own special experience that they have ordered. Or it could be a family that came with the cruise ship that wants to go out and maybe get some ice from his idea, or taste some of the danger beer. I just imagine a really big custom collaboration with a lot of people around to make experiences for everybody, not just tourists, but also people living around in Greenland, or people from Denmark, or just anybody who wants to experience can make their own custom experience, and where my company makes the appointments with the other companies, or maybe we have our own resources to get
Thank
that
you.
experience.
A couple of minutes for questions to Tikerak. Who will go first?
Thank you for a very nice presentation. One thing, how did you think, have you thought about how you wanted to market your idea?
I thought about making it, for example, a website and an app, and then there's a lot of ads on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, just all the social platforms everybody use. We could make an ad campaign for just about anybody planning on traveling to Greenland.
Yeah, I was thinking, because there is often a difference, the target group of a family and a target group of people heading for a romantic getaway is quite different. So just a thought.
I thought about Google. They know just about what everybody wants everywhere. So I could ask them if they could use their algorithm to get the ads to a couple of people. But then I think if it's a really good success that people really like, then it will market itself. Everybody would tell, I had this amazing experience here in Greenland, and you should try it too. And then more and more people would just tell about it.
Anyone with a question?
So there's no one trying to do this right now in Greenland, trying to have this overview of the different experiences so you can customize it?
I haven't.
You will be the only player in this field, or?
I have no idea, but I haven't heard anybody else having the idea.
Okay.
Anyone? Did you think about the sustainable development goals that we talked a little bit about? How are you? How is your idea helping the world with sustainable development?
My idea, for example, electricity would be green energy, because at the moment you can buy solar panels and batteries from this company called Tesla, and then I could get green energy where they get their own power from either solar or wind, or maybe harness some of the streams that go out in the sea, and it would create a lot of jobs and maybe develop the economy around in Greenland.
Okay, thank you. Anyone with a last question, or we'll say thank you to Tikerak, but please stay here. Yakusak and Malik, please come up again, because and keep clapping a little bit, because from just being asked if they wanted to take 2 days out of their free time, they came to see what is this about, and we put them with this extremely difficult task of coming up with something completely new about food and sustainable development, and then addressing a whole room of distinguished guests from all around the world. I'm amazed with your courage. Yes, I am.
I honestly didn't expect I was going to make this pitch. I was just thinking about it was going to be one day where they tell us about how that you do stuff, and I was really surprised to know that we are going to have a pitch.
I think that there is hope for the future generation. You show us that. We have a little present for you for your effort. Georgine. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your warm welcome to these three wonderful young people. And thank you for having this part of the show here tonight. Thank you.
And now we're going to be listening to some fantastic music. And Jensia is here tonight. She's from Faroe Islands and lives now in Greenland. She will play some beautiful music for us. Welcome.
Hey, does it sound like I'm in a big hall? Yeah. Good. I'm just trying to stay in that hall. It seems that the piano has lost its power. But there it was, never mind. Sorry. This is Christina, a wonderful, wonderful technician who is here tonight. Most important when it comes to, what is that word? Performing, yes. I will be singing 2 Faroese songs for you tonight, and a Greenlandic song. In the north, I don't know where a lot of people are from. I know there are plenty from Greenland. Which other countries are represented? Let's start at that table. No.
That's the Faroese table.
Yeah. Got buzz. Yeah, my husband's over there as well. Yeah, in the north, we've been raised with storytelling, and now you get a taste of the dark weather and the snow. And also a common thing, I think, is the beautiful lullabies that we all have. So 2 of the songs I will be singing are going to be lullabies. If you fall asleep, please don't snore, or get an appointment with the one next to you to give you a little tip. Or just snore quietly. But I will be starting with a song that I wrote myself. It's a song written to the people we love, even now or we once did. And it's called Laimevi, and it's Alaya in Faroese can mean 2 things. That somebody can hold your hand, Alaya, or somebody can lead you, lead the way. This particular line in this song is supposed to be both. And it's about also asking a lot of questions that we never had the possibility to ask people we would have liked to ask different questions. So again, or you're welcome to take a nap. It might have been a long day, but just relax and enjoy. There, I'm in the big room again. Er I stadig vågne? This next Faroese song is a love song. Such a good theme to write about. It's written by one of the Faroe Islands musical darlings called Simba. He's an older man now, but he's written a lot of beautiful, beautiful songs. And this is about somebody really, really longing for somebody in a really deep, deep, passionate, but secret way. Yeah, that's what this one is about. I'm also trying to learn all of this. It's called To Murder My Chancellors, and you awaken feelings in my mind. Is that a good enough translation, people? I'm asking the Faroese table. for mig også et godt redskab til at prøve at lære det her fantastiske grønlandske sprog. Så ja, der taler flydende grønlandsk. Hvis jeg synger forkert, bare det ignorerer vi. Og ja, den hedder simpelthen ikke mere nok, og den er skrevet af Joachim Dybert. Og det er altså en for alvor en modkendelse. Jeg tør ikke at synge den uden noget. Jeg må have papiret med. Og så ønsker jeg jer en god aften videre.
Christian. I speak fluently Greenlandic, and that was perfect. I felt the goosebumps. Did you? Yeah, that was beautiful. So that was the program for tonight. And thank you so much for your time and your engagement. I really hope you had a great evening. And please remember to fill out the postcards. On behalf of Sommersop Business Council, I would like to say thank you so much for tonight.